getting students to listen in a more focused way. With Herbert Puchta.
It's not always easy to get students to be attentive and active listeners. One problem is that listening requires focusing one's attention, and not all of our students are good at that. Here are 3 activities that I have used very successfully in teenage classes to help students with focusing their attention on listening. The first one is based on a technique that I learned from Mario Rinvolucri. If necessary, briefly revise question words and how to form questions. Get your students to work in pairs and to decide who is A and who is B in each pair. Give the A's half a minute to think up as many questions as they can on any topic. The A's now get another half minute to ask the B's as many questions as they can in the time. Tell them to do this fast, without waiting for answers from their partners. Student B in each pair just listens and nods their head after hearing each question as a sign that they have understood it. When the half minute is over, ask the B's to think about the questions and see which ones they remember and want to answer. Tell them that among all the answers they are going to give, one should be made up, fictional. Now the A's listen, and when the B's have finished giving their answers, the A's tell them which answer they believe was fiction rather than fact. Here's a second activity. This can be used when you want to get your students to listen to their classmates reading out texts they've written. In such a situation, it's not unusual for the rest of the class to switch or doze off with their eyes wide open as soon as one of their colleagues starts with the reading. So this is what you can do before the first student starts reading. Tell the class that you're going to give them a quiz after, say, 6 students have read out their texts, and that all the questions will be about the 6 texts they're going to hear. Say that you will ask them 10 questions and that you're curious how many they'll be able to answer. While the 6 students are reading out their texts, take notes to formulate your questions. Then dictate the 10 questions and give students 2 or 3 minutes to discuss the answers in pairs. The third activity type that I would like to recommend is a mental imagery process. Ask your students to relax and focus on their breathing for a moment. If they like, they can also close their eyes. Then say in a relaxed voice, I'd like you to imagine that you can see a very colorful hot air balloon now. It's a beautiful day. We are on a beach somewhere. We walk towards the balloon. You're now invited to get into the basket, and we are going up in the balloon. We are gently going up. It's a wonderful sensation. There's a light breeze. When you look down, you can see a nice little wood. Next to it, there are some cornfields. And there's a meadow close to it. There are some people. They're playing a ball game. At some distance from the group, there's a man behind an ice cream kiosk. You can see some children queuing up for the ice cream. Now, as you look out towards the other side of the balloon, you can see the sea. There are a few sailing boats and people on their surfboards. They're enjoying the breeze, surfing up and down the coast. Watch the surfers for a few more minutes. Then you feel the balloon descending, and it lands, and you come back to the classroom. When the students have come back to the here and now of the classroom, ask them to talk or write about their experience.
For a detailed discussion of using mental imagery work in the foreign language class and lots of activities, see Imagine That by Jane Arnold, Herbert Puchta and Mario Rinvolucri.